This video explains how to add polls and questions to your Laulima course. Let's start with polls. To add the polls tool to your course, go to Site Info, Manage Tools, and check Polls. I have one poll running in my site. It's a multiple choice question that allows students to select all that apply. We can see from the student view that a student can make their selections and vote. In the instructor view, I see the cumulative results, how many have voted, and which options are selected. Click the Add button to start a poll. The question goes in the first text box. I'm going to pose a question as an icebreaker. Skim past the rich text editor and select an opening and closing date for the poll. I'll use the pre-selected dates for a window of 1 week. Limit the number of options that may be selected. In this case, I want one answer from each student. Decide when you want results visible and click Save and Add Options. Now the question appears and I can type the first option. Yes. Save and Add Options. The second option is No. Save and Add Options. The third option is Sort of. Click Save. Now all of my selections appear and I can do any necessary editing. Again, save. This takes me to the poll list. Click the question and the poll appears as it will to students. From the student view, we can see that the first poll question has been previously answered, so that is no longer an active link. However, the new poll question is open. I'll vote yes. Returning to the instructor view, I can check the voting. The polls are anonymous, so if I'm using this as an icebreaker, I can say something like, "Hey, I see several yeses, and will someone share their brush with fame?" And then I go from there. And when I click a checkbox, this activates the buttons to remove or reset selected polls. While the Polls tool opens up on its own page, you can add inline questions directly to a lessons page. Let's look at how to insert a question to this lesson. For the lesson, I have embedded video with a question added below. Note that a number of symbols may appear on the left-hand corner of the question text box. A question mark appears if you have not selected the answer to the question. If that's the case, click Edit, return to the possible answers, and checkmark the correct option. A red X indicates the question has been answered incorrectly. A green checkmark indicates a correct answer. And an asterisk indicates that the question is required. This is a multiple choice question with 4 options and 1 right answer, and I've checkmarked that. Note that at this stage, the red X's do not mean wrong answer. Clicking one removes the possible answer from the list. I've linked the question to the gradebook for 2 points. If the student's answer is correct, they get the yes text response. Returning to the question, I can click Show Poll to see how students have responded. Or click the grading pane icon for individual responses. Both of these attempts were incorrect answers. If I want to add a second question, I click the plus sign at the bottom of this column. Here, I select Add Question. I'll make this question 2 with 3 possible answers: A1, A2, A3. I'll select A2 as the correct answer, and this time I won't link it to the gradebook. I'll provide some feedback. Yes, correct. I'll require the item and save. From here, I can select and submit an answer. A green check mark and the response text appears. Using the Polls tool and the Questions feature adds interactive elements to your Laulima course.